Hello, peeps and peepettes.
Peepette.
Visokii Entertainment, we are here. Peepettes, that's a thing, right? Probably.
Shout out Lil Peep.
Lil Peep. R.I.P. Lil Peep. But not so, dude. Things not showing up. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So we just had an episode. Charlie was catching up a little bit, so sorry. It's sorry
Totally
for a little bit of a late start.
Sunday episode. Thought it went straight to Monday.
Wow, man. Some fan.
Honestly, I checked Twitter about 30 minutes in.
I have an alarm set for 7:58 every day. It goes off at 7:58 p.m. every day, just as a reminder of, is there Big Brother on?
I think it's like the next 4 days too, maybe something like that. I don't even know.
God, I don't know, but hello, Kat.
Welcome.
And hello to anyone else that might happen to hop in chat, or if you're watching this after, that's fine too. But let's talk a little bit of the episode tonight. I think this one will probably be pretty short. We'll probably be in and out. There's not a whole bunch to talk about, especially since we're not going to talk about spoilers or anything like that. Let's just talk about the episode. So we started off with the talk, the little I don't even know what the word is, man. The aftermath. The aftermath of the eviction of Chuck. And it started off pretty much with Ross and Shannon and James and Marissa, those four saying, hey, we all did what we needed to do. And then those four ended up solidifying that they were going to be a Final Four. They solidified a Final Four deal, which if you were watching our spoiler episode or my spoiler episode yesterday, then you will know that that was the case. What do you think about this Final Four, Charlie? I have to think you're pleased because Shannon and James finally got together.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying seeing James get his hand on the game. You can see that. Even if you go to the first episode, like he's got his hands on the game. And further in this episode, we'll get into it, but he proved it. I have a lot of good feelings for James in this game, and I just his DRs, I enjoy them. And now he's got this alliance, and he seems to hold true to it. So,
agreed. So, like I said, James, Shannon, those are the two big power players, and then Ross and Marissa are kind of taking a backseat in that alliance. But once again, I think Ross and Marissa, which a lot of people were saying they were putting themselves in good positions last week, or I guess not even last week, but last episode, they're in an even better position now. So Omarosa and Keisha now know that they're on the outs. And since Keisha can't play in the HOH competition, Omarosa is kind of left up. It's kind of left up to herself to win the HOH comp. Shannon, right before the competition, the head of household competition, which ended up being is it Bolo-Rama or Bolo-Mania or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It's the bowling comp where they have to spin. Oh, yeah, Bowl Arena, right, because ballerina and bowling, where people have to spin and then throw bowling balls. Pretty much Shannon started talking to everyone and said, this is what we have to do. We have to keep picking we have to keep picking Omarosa. That way there's better odds of her getting out, because the way it works is the first two people are picked at random, but then after that, it goes down the line, and the next, so like 1 and 2 will face each other, and then 3 has to pick who they want to face, and then 4, if they haven't gone yet, has to pick who they want to face. So Omarosa overheard Shannon being the ringleader, telling everyone to keep putting Omarosa up. She called her out right then and there, which I thought was kind of cool. You don't see that too much.
It was cool, and it was smart on Omarosa's part.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, because Omarosa automatically painted Shannon as the bully. And Shannon, they showed a conversation between Omarosa and Shannon after the HOH competition earlier in the episode, where Shannon was trying to get Omarosa to think that she wasn't the leader of the group of the new alliance without Keisha and Omarosa. And Omarosa kind of called her out on her BS right before the competition, saying, okay, just so you guys know, this is Shannon coming directly at me. This isn't any of you guys. She was the one that went to you guys and said this is what we need to do. So very smart on her part. That being said, Omarosa was awful at the competition. She picked Marissa #1 overall, And God, it was so nice to see that Marissa won against Omarosa because number one, Omarosa she goes, I picked her because I didn't think she'd be good at getting dizzy or whatever. She picked her because she's fat. That's why Omarosa picked Marissa, because she thought that she wasn't going to be athletic enough to beat her in a competition. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Marissa outlasted Omarosa in all the competitions in the first HOH comp and the second one where she knocked her out. So another thing, anyone that knows anything about dancing knows, really, dude? I don't know if you could hear that out the window. But no, it was some loud bikes going by. I was like, come on, bro. So anyone that knows anything about dancing knows that there is this technique called pointing or setting your points or whatever. Spotting, a lot of people call it as well. Where when you spin, you angle you find one single point to stare at, and when you turn around, you keep your head facing the one point, and then as you come around, you whip your head as fast as you can to get back on the point, and you don't get as dizzy. Well, Marissa knows how to do that. Omarosa doesn't, and that's why Marissa won. She didn't get nearly as dizzy. So screw you, Omarosa.
Yeah, she tried thinking she was the easiest target, and little did she know. Well, she does know who she is. I mean, I'm sure they've had these conversations.
Yeah.
Like, well,
once again, it's because she's a big girl. Marissa's gonna always get picked on like that. So will Ross, which we'll talk about that as we go on. So anyway, right after Omarosa loses, her asthma acts up and she goes back into the house right away. As soon as she loses, she goes back into the house. Asks for a medic, and she's gone, and we will definitely talk about that after the competition because that's the big point of the whole episode. So anyway, people keep getting weeded out. James is killing the competition. It's obvious that James is the best person at the comp. It ends up being James and Ross in the final two, and which is good for that alliance of James, Ross, Shannon, and Marissa. And Shannon pulls James aside and says, hey, if you want to build some trust with the alliance, and if you want to play next week in the HOH, since you're a better overall player physically than Ross, how about you throw this one to Ross, and then that'll be good all around. So James throws the competition to Ross, and Ross wins HOH. What do you think about that?
I thought very smart gameplay by James doing that. I mean, James doesn't know that he's kind of next in line with him, and Shannon are next in line with the other pairing. He doesn't know that, so he's just being loyal to his alliance. And it's smart for him because no matter what, Shannon's a target before him, and Shannon and Omarosa are targets before him. So I thought it furthermore are the point of it's fun to see people get their hands on the game. And I'm sure if Meta keeps staying in the house, we'll see it with him too, and it'll be cool to watch. Because we had his I voted Chuck earlier in this episode, and that was pretty good. That's got to be a first, right? I voted Chuck.
I vote Chuck.
Yeah.
And he thought that he's voting for Chuck to stay, not for Chuck to leave.
That's good.
He is living in his own world. I also want to say Meta World Peace was throwing the bowling balls just a tad too hard. They were literally
oh my god, dude,
out over the thing.
His big ass arms, that wingspan that he's got dude, he
was hucking the bowling balls as hard as he possibly could, and I'm like, dude, chill out. Like,
yeah, that was pretty cool. I actually did take note of that. I was like, dude,
they're gonna have to put like a net behind the thing. So yeah, Ross's HOH. He knows right away that the right move is for him to put up Omarosa and Keisha, but Omarosa is out of the house now. Omarosa ends up being out of the house for 12 hours. Let me repeat that. 12 hours. And now I don't want to downplay any sort of injury or illness or whatever it may be. But like I've dealt with sports asthma before. I know plenty of people that have had asthma attacks before. Charlie, that is excessive to go to the hospital for 12 hours for asthma, right?
Yeah, she must have something serious with it, but if they did, why would they let her on the show? So it's I'm sure they had complications with it.
That's right. But if it was that bad to where she could potentially be hospitalized for 12 hours,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
from spinning, then why would she be on the show?
Yeah,
to me, that sounds fishy. I think there's something else going on. But Fume hopped in the chat. Hello, Fume said when
welcome.
they were talking about backdooring, and he was like, "What's a backdoor?" Talking about Meta.
Exactly.
Meta is obviously not a fan of the show, and he is living in his own world. I think it's hilarious. I feel like Big Brother probably just went to the Lakers because they're in LA, and they're like, "Hey, who's like an interesting personality that you wouldn't mind, loaning to us?" Because he's still playing, right?
I don't think so anymore.
Oh, okay.
Jeannie Buss, the Lakers owner, is a big fan of Big Brother. And
Big Brother, exactly. So they went and she said, "Hey, any suggestions?" And she was like, "Oh my God, Meta World Peace for sure." So anyway, Omarosa ends up coming back into the house eventually. There was a little bit of talk between Ross and Marissa. Okay, Fume says he's retired. All right. So there was a small amount of talk between Ross and Marissa about after Keisha and Omarosa, who's the strongest couple in the house, and Marissa's like James and Shannon. And everyone assumes that they have a final 2 deal. I'm not sure if they do or not, but obviously if they were to just
on the episodes, I don't know.
Yeah, if they were to just start running stuff, it would be it would definitely be a power couple.
I mean, if you compare this to a normal season, we're already at the final 10. So
yeah,
it's like theoretically now is when you would start going nuts.
The issue with it though is that Marissa and Ross just made this alliance. And all of a sudden, they're thinking about getting rid of them. I'm sorry, but if you make a Final 4 alliance and there's 11 people left or 10 people left, you really want to wait till at least like Final 6 or 7 to start thinking about picking.
You want to run this for a couple evictions.
Exactly. You want to go
for at least one of them, for Christ's sake.
And then something else of note is that Ross and it's Ross, Ariadna, Brandy and Shannon or Marissa?
The other one, it's Marissa again.
Marissa. So Ross and Marissa are in alliances with Ariadna and Brandy, but also with Shannon and James. So very interesting. Do you think that's a good move to play this hard? Do you think because I'll throw it to you first, then I'll give my opinion.
They haven't really addressed it on the show, but if those two are really close, they're in a great spot together. And if you play it easy this week and not piss off both alliances, you're even in a better spot.
I would agree. I do think, though, like, you run the risk of, since Shannon and James are playing so hard, them going to Brandy and Ariadna, and I think that's how they could get exposed. But there's no way Brandy and Ariadna are going to go to James and Shannon and try cutting a deal. So like Ross and Marissa are in the clear as far as one alliance, like, and they can get rid of Ariadna and Brandy if they want. In their dream scenario, that's their final 6 is with both alliances, and then they cut either Shannon or James. Final 6.
Or have them duke it out with each other.
And then duke it out with each other, or just keep Ari or Brandy. Fume says, "What did Brandy tell Ari? If I could, what? If I could something, one of you, I would, and I'm fine with coming second. You won't come second again." I'm not sure what you're asking, Fume. Do you know, Troy?
I don't know the conversation. I think he's saying because Ari had the Miss Universe second place. Brandy's saying she wouldn't let that happen to her again.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm sure I don't know if I didn't see it this episode. I don't know. Fume, I haven't really been watching the feeds or. I see the Twitter updates, but I missed them all today, so I probably missed that.
Yeah, if it wasn't on the episode, then neither of us have seen it. I've been going back and forth. I drove for 3.5 hours today, so I've been going back and forth.
I like the trim beard.
Thanks, man. Trimmed it yesterday for the whatever. I figure if I'm going to be out in public, I should probably trim it a little bit.
Not a bad idea.
So Charlie, we have an episode tomorrow night. It's going to be what, just POV, or is it eviction as well?
POV, live POV and live eviction.
Okay, so tomorrow is a live POV and eviction.
That's a cool episode. That's a great idea.
It's crazy. And then after that, I mean, it's going quick. It's all in 3 weeks. And like they said, we're guaranteed to eliminate multiple people each week. So it feels nuts that the season's only been going on since what? Last Wednesday? Hasn't even been a week.
Yeah. Thursday could be a double eviction.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've had 5 nights. And it's already crazy. So
yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. So anyway, make sure you guys, like I said, this is going to be a little bit of a short one, a little over 15 minutes long, but why not? It's better than if you guys would like us to switch to a weekly format and talk about everything and maybe just do some breaking news stuff. Put that down in the comments. But if you like the small updates, then that's cool too. Make sure you guys tweet at us with any questions. I'll tweet back at you. That's at Visokii Tweets, Visokii, just like our name, and tweets. And be sure if you guys want to come on an episode, talk with us after one of the episodes, then yeah, send us a DM. They're open. Veracity, you are late. Sorry, Veracity. Yeah, we're closing up. We're closing up shop for the night. It's a quick one.
We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a fun episode.
I got to be at the school at 7:30 in the morning for teacher conferences, anyways. All right, so I'm probably hitting the hay. Anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Click the bell so you know when we go live. Until next time. See ya.